So what makes this piece so special? Well, in today's video, we're going to break down things and I will give you my insights on the Swan. So let's get started. So what I usually like to do before even starting to play the music is to get familiar with the sheet music. I like to take a moment to look at the key signature, the time signature, the tempo, dynamics and so on, bowings, fingerings if needed. And here comes a pro tip that I really like to do before even playing on the cello, is to sing the melody. So you take the sheet music and you sing as beautiful as you can. Because whatever you will sing, it will come out of your mouth and then it will get back into your ear. And then that way how you sing, you want to transmit this into your cello playing. You know, there is a popular ancient Greek and Roman belief that the swan, the most beautiful of all animals, remained silent until its final moments of life, when it would sing the most beautiful of all songs. And the melody certainly captures that feeling of beauty and longing. You know, the theme in the cello starts with this 3-note motive, that falling 3-note motive, which is actually kind of like a cry. Especially that shifting over here, this should be crying, this should be not just normally played. Now, starting the G, what I often see is that people, they don't attack necessarily the note, but it's too much emphasized. No, instead you need to think like this, you know, because before, when you start to play, the piano accompaniment goes, and you're out of the image, right? It's the piano that, let's say, it's the streaming of the water, and you appear in the image, so you have to blend in. So don't start immediately, boom, like that. No, come from far away, blend with the piano. So so already before it's your turn to start, make sure that you're already preparing in order to land nicely on it, and not just starting from the string and because then it, unfortunately, it will lose its essence. Everything should be very gracefully. Then we arrive at this famous scale over here. It's a normal scale, but it's probably one of the most beautiful scales ever written. Again, that scale, you know, the climbing of it, you know, it should be like a graceful cry from the swan. So anyways, in this scale over here, there are different bowings over here, right? You see that there are people that they separate everything. I don't really agree with that. So it sounds like this. Of course, when you separate everything, yes, it sounds solid and it sounds big and everything, but that's not really the point. I think, you know, again, it's about blending in. So that's why I like to slur everything. We start with 2 notes slurred, then 4 notes, and then the last 2 notes up. And you can take your time between your F sharp going into the B. Alright, moving on. So we have the same thing in measure 6. So the same thing as the beginning. But this time we have a twist, A sharp. So compared to the first one, which was, you know, this relaxation, now we have, you know, something is happening, something intensive is coming. So it's really important that you show that A sharp, you know, take this sharp literally, sharp. So don't play it too flat, because often it happens that people, they play it a little bit too flat. And then it loses something in the color. So I think it's important that you really play it sharp. Don't go, of course, too high either, but mark it, because we need to have this difference between the G, A natural, G, C sharp. You know, something is, it feels that it's hurting. Because then afterwards we have this scale at measure 8, which starts with the F sharp. So you see, it's full of sharps. It's completely different than in measure 4, which is everything very natural, very simple. No, here we have so you see, it's a completely different character than in measure 4. Measure 4, it's a graceful cry, right? But in measure 8, it's really a cry. Also, be careful with the use of vibrato over here. I usually see people, you know, because of course it's very emotional, and then, you know, their hands gets very emotional, so they play and then it gets a little bit out of control over here. No, you can help, of course, with the vibrato to create this tension, but still, you know, keep it under control. Maybe you can go a tiny little bit faster and not that relaxed as the first one. Listen to the difference. Measure 4. Now we go to measure 8. So see how I open up into that B minor. Anyways, here it's a tricky passage for many of you. Is that shift over here? It's something psychologically, I don't know what it is. In fact, it's not so difficult, you know, because if you practice this just as an etude, it's not so difficult. So in fact, you just need to think it's just a shift, you know, it's not the end of the world. Now measure 12, that's another tricky one, because from measure 11, we need to find the C, which is sometimes very delicate. Again, this is, you know, you need to practice the F sharp without vibrato. Practice shiftings without vibrato. And always with a beautiful sound. So that you remember the distance, the interval. Then afterwards, when you think, okay, I'm ready to go, then you play the F sharp, and then you stop because you have a break, and then you try. So again, 2, 3. Also, a thing that I just remembered is that many people, you know, they take too much time. They dwell too much. They get, I don't know, they get blocked or something with their hands. This is what happens. So they play the F sharp, and then just before playing, then they move at last. No, make use of this little break that you have. It's in your favor. 2, 3. See, so during the break, I'm already shifting, and I'm anticipating my left hand. Then it gets so much easier over here. Cool. Now what comes next? In measure 13 and 14, this is really cool harmonically, because, you know, here we are opening. You know, this is like, you're hugging the world. This is so unexpected and it's so cool. So don't be afraid to go into that F sharp. That one. And again, wait a little bit. You don't need to go straight into tempo. Pa, pa, pam. Yarari, taram, E, F sharp. Then you relax. Then, here, this is the best part, because again, it's quite, you know, repeated, but there are little twists. So the first time we have them. So open up. Relax. And now comes the C sharp. Something is happening. F natural. And then the sweet F sharp. Going back into to the G major. Good, then we have the like the beginning, measure 80, measure 90 is exactly the same, but it's not exactly the same in the sense of character. Let's say in the complete beginning we have a young swan, right? So with full of energy, you know, beautiful and so forth. But in measure 18, it's already a swan that is much older. You know, it's his last moments of life. So it's already the old one. So here we have to play with wisdom over here. So it's not just, you know, no, here, very like this. Then the next scale also is going to be different, because even, you know, we're opening up, but this his last cry, you know, it's his last time that he wants to try to open up, but then he gets tired. So let me play this section for you. So it's here where he wants to try one more time. Here he's getting tired. He's saying goodbye. I like to stay on the D string because it's more mellow. And then the piano, work on phrases. So what I gave you before, this pro tip of singing the melody, you know, as beautiful as you can, listening to recordings, don't get stuck, you know. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't think per note, think per measure. And here you come to, then we have the scale. So you see, I'm not thinking about per note, per quarter note or per eighth note. No, I'm thinking about, you know, the bigger picture, per measure. Well, I really hope that you enjoyed this breakdown. Thank you so much for watching. For me, this was a huge pleasure to do it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That's the biggest support you can give to me. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you in the next video.